Oh My Corazon by Tim Burgess. I can't get enough of that. I love that chorus. On XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and little Karl Pilkington. But it was a nice holiday.
Yeah, it's alright. It's just, you know, I went there to relax and that.
Exactly.
Did a little bit of that. Trying to think of some new, you know, features and stuff.
Sure, always working, always working. 3 holidays a year, Jesus.
Oh, well, not really 3, oh, 2.
It's all
holidays, really.
one big sort of like work thing to me and Steve.
2 holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Work hard, you need the holidays. So, yeah, the things that annoyed me was like, you get bored sat around the pool after a couple of days. I'd read my book.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't much going on the...
Not even any crabs to throw sand at, was there?
No crabs or anything, they wouldn't bother with Lanzarote, right? So, decided to go on a little trip. That's when I saw the volcanoes and that, 36 of them. So, we go on the trip, and the thing that annoys me, it does happen every holiday that you go on. If you go on a sort of a package thing, they have these trips, right? And you pay about 40-odd quid, and they give you some wine to sort of make it feel like you're getting your money's worth. But,
how many of these trips have you been on then? Loads.
Probably about 12.
More holidays than I've had. Go on.
Yeah, so anyway, so you're on the coach, right? And they take you, for the volcanoes, they took us in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Right? There's nothing else round there.
Sure.
It's like I say, it's like Mars, but with holes in the ground.
Yep.
Right? And, they sort of drop you off, and they go, right, everybody, see you back here in an hour. There's loads of volcanoes for you to look at, and a coffee shop over there. And you know, for a fact, right, you don't need an hour there. You could just say, well, just keep the engine running, because I'll have a look in this hole, we'll get back on, give us 5 minutes. Right? Don't need an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know that they've got something going on.
It's a backhander, definitely.
What, with the coffee shop?
Definitely, yeah. They go there. And they get everyone to have an ice cream and a coffee, and they sit down, have a fag, talking to the bloke. Yeah, and it's like, cousin. Yeah.
How much was the coffee? Was it
probably about 3 each euros, so I think it was 3.50.
Sure. Yeah,
which is, I don't know, what, that's about 2.5 quid.
Yeah, they stitched you up. Well, I remember we were on it was a family trip to France once. We went to Paris. We got a coach coming back from Paris to one of the ferries, one of the ports, Calais or wherever it was. Coach trip. It was quite a long coach trip. And at one point we were thinking, this is, we're on the motorway, this is fine, we're making good progress. Suddenly we came off the motorway. We must have gone like 40 minutes out of our way, end up in this street completely empty, little French town. And it's pulled up outside this, what appears to be a restaurant, and a guy jumps on, dressed like a Butlins redcoat. He's French, but he's putting on a kind of English accent. He goes, hello, oh, thank you very much, top of the morning, good morning, hello. Come in, we've got food, drink, go upstairs, we've got rooms if you want to have a rest, or play around. No, it's up to you. And we all had to funnel off this thing into this restaurant, and this one family went, well, we don't want to go in the restaurant. We brought sandwiches, we just want to get to the port, we're not interested. And they said, well, you've got to come in the restaurant. They went, we don't want to come in the restaurant. So the guy said, well, I'll have to lock you in the coach. So this family were locked in the coach while we all traipsed off in, and I could just look, but I looked back and just saw this little kid with his face pressed up against the glass. Take me with you. I want to go in the restaurant. They were just stuck in there. I mean, absolutely livid, as you would be.
But that's definitely a backhander.
But we went inside, and it was extraordinary, because initially you had to pass through a souvenir shop to get into the restaurant.
Perfect.
And it was catered entirely to English tourists. So there was like pictures of the Queen and Prince Charles on the wall. It was done out in a kind of mock Tudor style. It's absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it was so bizarre, because it was so out of the way. Did that come before the coach, sort of scam, or did the coach guy, he knows it, is it a brother of his? I don't know how those things come about. But
yeah, is
that going on in this country?
Yeah,
with French and German tourists?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Is it?
Yeah, they say, I'm sure people say, look, if you bring 30 people to this restaurant, I'll see you alright. But it wouldn't it? If, you got your favourites. Because you don't have to, though. The coach driver's pretty much God on those things. Because those people don't know where they're going anyway.
Yeah, but at least here, there's other stuff around. You don't really get that in the middle of nowhere situation in this country.
Well, not really. Not if you're going from, London to Manchester. You could stop off anywhere. They don't know where they are. There's places with nothing to do or see. It's that those attractions. There's loads of them in America, but there's a few here, like Sheep World and, you know, you go out to Gloucester, and there's a town that's got the biggest cotton reel in the world. And that's it. There's a tourist shop, a big cotton reel, and some bloke at the gate going, it's a quid to see it. There it is, right?
I went to, I know it's quite a big, I went to a Shire Horse Centre once.
Yeah.
But when did Shire horses become so popular that they got their own theme parks?
Well, I think there's a museum for everything.
Yeah, possibly so.
I mean, I don't think you could think of something that didn't have a museum somewhere in Britain, because obviously museums start off sometimes by fans.
But this is, did people keep coming around going, I hear you've got a Shire horse, I'd love to see it?
Yeah.
Well, I can't, people coming all the time to see my Shire
You should get another one, because I'd pay double for
I
those
pay
two.
good money to see your Shire horse.
Yeah.
Shire horses!
I know.
Have you seen them? They don't do anything, they're not like monkeys.
No, they're
Just
not like
grand,
monkeys,
elegant
no.
creatures. But you look at them in a picture, or look at them in real life, pretty much the same thing. They're not doing anything.
If they could train a Shire horse to swing on a rope and masturbate,
Exactly.
I'd pay double.
You pay good money.
I'd pay double for that.
Yeah.
There's a museum in Italy when we went there a couple of years back. Suzanne had like one of those little guide things. Museum there just for spaghetti.
Yeah.
I mean, open a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
I mean-
it interesting spaghetti? Spaghetti in different shapes?
Dunno, didn't go. I went to see a big hole in the ground.
Sure.
Can't get enough of them. So,
Well, but out of 10 then, what would you give it out of 10? All in all,
round to
food, location,
right.
relaxation, you know, enjoyment.
Yeah, that's 6.
Okay, brilliant.
6, yeah.
Next week, where are you going next week? You're not on holiday next week?
Going
Cool.
away with Suzanne's mum and dad again. this year.
5 holidays.
Wrote
Play a
some of
record.
that.
You've got to put some work in, you're in your 30s now. You've got to knuckle down. Cheering breaks, mind over money, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, Little Karl Pilkington.
Yeah. A couple of emails. Different people have visited various tourist attractions.
Oh yeah.
Let me see who's this from. Not quite sure, but thanks very much indeed for it. So, there's a link here. It's apparently in Devon. Barometer World.
Brilliant.
It's the world of barometers. It was established in 1979. And
By one bloke who had a lot and thought, I can charge a quid
Yeah.
for this, definitely.
Here's the
Out of his own house, probably. Converted back scuttle.
exactly.
Yeah, that's not a euphemism for a sexual act.
But look at the webpage here, Rick. There's a picture of a beautiful barometer being held by a beautiful lady.
Lovely. Who's definitely his daughter.
Yes,
Definitely. Come on, Kathy. Oh, that. Dad, no. Come on. Undo your top a little bit. Dad? Definitely made to do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
That slight look of I hope no one I know sees.
Yeah.
Just check out Barometer World.
Barometer World.
Yeah, that's available. You want to check that out? www.barometerworld.com. That's
Now,
all the,
barometers. Now, one, do they work?
they're to do
Two.
with checking, is it the air pressure?
Well, everything. But
Air.
I think that's what it's based on, isn't it? Sort of low and high pressure, so it's gonna rain, it's not gonna rain.
Yeah.
Or gonna be windy, but I wonder how accurate they are.
I think in the days before satellite sort of weather surveillance systems, probably essential.
Yeah.
Nowadays...
As essential as hanging some seaweed out by the back door?
probably.
I think it's probably similar. I think it's the same one as holding a needle and thread over a pregnant woman. If it goes clockwise, it'd be a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about a barometer is how far into the future can it predict?
Exactly.
'Cause
How
if
do you
it's-
know?
If it's a case of you may as well stick your head out the window to see if it's raining.
Exactly. This barometer goes, oh, it's gonna be windy and rainy. When? The barometer goes, soonish.
Yeah.
So, can't say, but it will, well, within the 7
I
days.
don't want
of
to be
the-
specific because you'll have me.
yeah.
you'll-
Yeah, I don't want to, but I mean, you know, I'm just a barometer, I'm not really
I
a
can't
weather person.
reanalyse the information.
Yeah, brilliant.
What's in there that's what's happening in there? What chemicals are being affected? How does it work?
I
have no
don't
idea.
know. I assume it's probably something
Wait a minute, let me
that's-
email Barometer World.
What could it be?
They are quite interesting.
It could be mercury that's based on a sort of temperature. It goes up with. Oh no, it's not temperature, is it, barometer? It's pressure. So it's probably just very fine. It's like a fine, very, very fine needle, isn't it?
This is almost as embarrassing as last time we were on. We couldn't figure out what the name of the leader of China was. Was it the King of China? The Prince of China?
Oh, this is when we were trying to imagine what it'd be like if all the Chinese people at once jumped up and down
Yeah.
and made A big tidal
enormous
wave.
tidal wave. But if you do know what the name of the leader of China is, we don't mean the name of the particular person in charge, but if it's a king of China, the emperor of China, the chancellor of China,
it
the
used
prime
to be an
minister of
emperor,
China.
didn't it? That was Japan.
Yeah, this is it. I don't know what's the big guy in charge. Is he still the chairman? I know Chairman Mao was important. I think he was just the chairman. I think he just governed all the big meetings.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just kept the minutes.
Head Chinaman?
Head Chinaman. The major Chinaman. The top Chinaman.
Carl, what is an analogy?
It's sort of like a little story told quickly. Isn't it?
It's a little
isn't it?
story told quickly. To what end?
Well, it depends what the story is. You see, I just prefer sort of, what you say is what you mean. So people who live in a glass house have to answer the door.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I mean,
Because
you may be a genius, because I don't get that. People who live in glass houses have to answer the door.
Okay, let's hear his explanation.
Because the people knocking at the door will be able to see you because it's a glass house.
But you have to add a number of other things, other caveats. Surely, if you live in a glass house, don't walk around naked.
Yeah.
If you live in a...
These are literals.
But just the idea that in your head there should be sayings for people who live in glass houses. Who is it that's living in a glass house?
Well, I'm not talking about them. It's just that if everyone else is bringing up about these people who are living in glass houses, let's get to the real problems they've got.
He still hasn't got to grips with the idea of the metaphor or the simile.
Well, here's another saying, right, that I learnt recently from a mate, right? Oh, there's an elephant in the room.
Okay, I haven't heard that one, but explain it to me.
It's like how, whenever we go out for something to eat or a drink or something, it's normally after about 5 minutes, the sort of topic gets onto the shape of my head.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's interesting how, like, I'm the elephant in the room, right? Nobody's talking about it. You mention it once, suddenly it's the talk of the town. It's what I mean. Everybody starts joining in, going, well, yeah, it is round, but it does suit you. And these are people who I don't even know sometimes, and they're all dipping in. And that is an elephant in a room.
So you don't want people to discuss the shape of your head or the lack of hair? You would feel better, you would feel happier that they didn't mention that?
Sometimes I think it's better that it's out there. It's made me a stronger person, though. It's the same way, we were talking about religion and that. Samson Delilah, he got weaker without hair. Whereas with me, I think it's made me stronger.
But would you ever wear a wig?
Not really.
What was a long wig like Samson?
Well, the only time I wanted a wig was when I did jury duty once, wasn't it? And it was annoying that I was sat on the jury, right in front of, like, these criminals, right? Everybody else has got disguises. The judges have them wigs on, right?
That's not disguises!
It is a disguise. That's a disguise. That's why judges wear them, right? So
No! Well, then why did they print their name in the paper and have a picture? What do you mean it's a disguise?
it's a disguise, isn't it?
No! If it was a disguise, they'd go in with one of those glasses with a nose and the beard attached if it was a disguise. All judges would look like Groucho Marx if it was a disguise.
Well, I'm just saying that's what annoyed me when I was sat there on the front row, right? I couldn't have been any closer to the criminals and that, right? I was sat there and I thought, why didn't I just pop a little wig on or a pair of glasses?
I would have loved to have seen you in the front row at Crown Court.
No, because
I'd love to see it because in this country you're not allowed to show pictures of jurors. You can't take photos in a courtroom, so there's always these sketch artists that draw drawings and it's on the news. The idea that we'd have seen 11 people and a sort of Krusty the Clown figure would have been amazing.
Yeah, I would love to see the artist do an interview, because it would be like complicated people. Oh, Harry looks into characterful, and then just a little round
Charlie
head.
Brown.
Charlie Brown sitting on the end.
Carl, you said that your New Year's resolution was that you were going to learn something every day.
yeah,
Have you learned anything today?
If I can. Today, like, I don't know the full facts of it, but
Could I just say that when someone says they learn something new every day, that doesn't count if they forget it the next day.
no,
Because that'd be Groundhog Day learning.
well, the thing I learnt today was about an octopus.
Oh,
Go on.
What they can do is, they've got 8 legs and that.
Yeah.
They can use 6 of them legs to cover their head so they look like a little stone, and use the other 2 to run off. Right? But that's
He's thinking of Squidly Diddly.
Yeah, it's a Disney image in his head, isn't it?
He's thinking
They're
of...
pink.
But anyway, but anyway, that's you know.
So
that's
it's
not the
Pink
main
singing
thing.
a song in your mind and running off. Yeah.
No, but anyway, but something else I learnt, right? It's mainly about animals and that because that's
Yeah.
normally quite interesting.
Yeah.
There's a chicken somewhere,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
and
Specific.
and the owner of it was getting fed up because, you know, he had to feed it and that. But it wasn't.
Embellishment.
It wasn't.
Guesswork.
No, come on, let's hear it.
It wasn't giving anything back.
No eggs.
No eggs, right? So he was like, "Oh, I'm sick of this." Anyway, someone told him pop a little axe next to its little house, right? So when it comes out in the morning, thinking, "Oh, I'll have another lazy day doing nothing," right? He saw this axe, and suddenly it was like, "Oh, right."
I'm
Next
for the
day,
chocolate thought. Yeah.
it laid about 6 eggs.
It's rubbish.
Through
Squeeze them
worry.
out.
It's
Super
rubbish.
quick.
A chicken wouldn't recognise an axe as a threat. It wouldn't be able to reason that I better start working or I'll be meat. I better start. It's absolute rubbish. Once again, it's this ridiculous thing you got that one personifying animals to reasoning powers better than yours. I mean, I think you know you make chickens and monkeys cleverer than you in your stories, which is weird. It didn't happen and wouldn't work. Next, what else haven't you learnt today?
Do you think then that it's worth looking after animals then if there isn't any memory? If they don't know what's happening anyway, you're always going on about don't be cruel to things.
Why would you ever want to be cruel to an animal, whether it can reason or not?
No. I mean, I don't mean really cruel, but I mean like there's an advert on that's on in the, you know, in Britain, advertising some supermarket, right? And it's saying, you know, we look at before, you know, we kill our chickens and what have you. They have a great life. This is like the voiceover, and you see happy chicken.
Yeah.
And it's going, we give it a good little house to live in. It's got straw.
Yeah.
It eats good.
Yeah.
And then we kill it. Right?
Yes, but that's better, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't think it is, though, is it? Because at the end of the day, if I was that chicken, right, I'm that chicken, loving my life. I can't believe me luck, right? It's got its nice little field that it's working on.
Yeah.
It's got its nice food and everything. But it's going to die.
Yeah, we're all going to die.
But then, if you were like a rubbish chicken, that would like a rubbish life, you'd be going, oh, kill me.
Carl, they're not thinking what's going to happen tomorrow.
They don't know that they're going to get for the chop, are they?
A chicken's not going, I'm fed up with this. I can't wait for that axe to be used on my neck.
Yeah. Well, that's another now you've mentioned the cutting off of an head, right?
Yeah.
On the chicken. That's something else I've learned, right?
It's like a pinball is mine.
Amazing.
Isn't it? Ding dong, bong, dang, ding, ding, dong, dong. Oh, head, ding, ding, chicken, head off, bing, dong.
No, right, but this was in a proper science magazine as well. Right?
Yeah.
So you can't have a go. This wasn't something on the internet. This was printed in a magazine.
You read it.
Okay, and what was it?
And here comes the filter. It's going to come out nonsense.
Right, well-
you could have Professor Stephen Hawking sitting there whispering stuff in your ear, and it could all be true. But when you said it, gobbledygook.
Well, let's see then. Let's see, right? What they've done another experiment, right?
Yeah.
They've cut somebody's head off, right? And they've worked out that when the head comes off the body, it stays alive and that
No.
for 30 seconds.
Well, no, they don't know that. They can never know that.
No, they did it. They did this
No.
experiment.
What's alive?
The
What's
head.
alive? But there's loads of issues here. One, no one's experimenting with human beings cutting their head off, Carl.
Well,
Two, no.
Sorry, you read
No.
this in what? Executioner's Monthly?
This
Yeah,
is in
no,
a
two,
proper...
Carl, it's what your definition of alive is. Because you can be alive and have no conscience.
No, but this is where it gets weird, right?
Yeah,
I haven't told you that.
this is where it goes. You talking about it.
So the head's off, right?
Yeah.
And what they did was they chucked a load of questions at it.
All sanctioned by the government.
Yeah, this is all fine.
So the head lands perfectly on the neck and goes, what do you want to know?
And it said
So they're asking questions, and it's going, do you know what? To be quite honest, I don't answer your question. I'm a little bit annoyed about the execution still.
well, that was the interesting thing. They said it's about
No, it's not. It didn't happen, Carl.
me hear it.
Oh, don't talk
Let
shit.
me hear it.
What are you talking about? Who? These people around in white coats going, quick, ask it a question. It's bleeding.
right. So they said for about 25 to 30 seconds. The last 5 seconds, it is sort of like can't be bothered answering them.
Right, but prior to that,
But apart from that, they were chucking stuff. I don't think it spoke. I don't think it was like 2 and 2 is 4 and stuff. It was more. It was to do with blinking.
So blink once if you say yes, blink twice.
So I told it, said, listen, when you die, you're probably not going to be able to talk because your jaw's going to be on the ground. You're not going to be able to open your mouth. If you do, you'll fall over backwards and hit your head. Now listen, blink 1 for yes and 2 for no. Yeah, right, yeah, not too bad. Yeah, is the axe nice and sharp? Yeah,
Promise?
you're
Do you
talking
promise?
shit again.
You promise to do it? Yes. All
Yeah,
right.
well, yeah. The thing is, they wouldn't be able to do it with you, because if they cut your head off, it would just roll. It would roll away, because it's perfectly spherical. They would go, oh no, there's
Plus,
no... Oh.
it takes about 20 seconds whenever you ask Carl anything for the question to process and for him to start to formulate an answer.
Carl, it's what we've all been waiting for. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right, well, this one sent in from Sam in New York, right? And it's about a fire that happened, right, in a really... Do you know, like in New York, they have loads of big buildings, don't they?
Yeah.
Right, really, really tall ones and
Skyscrapers.
stuff. Yeah. And there was a fire in one of them, right? So they did as expected. They called up, fire brigade and that. They turned up, right? Fire engine parked up. It's like, right, where's the fire? And they said, oh, it's on like floor 100 or whatever. And they said, oh no, we've brought the fire engine with the short ladders.
Stupid mistake, but go on.
Right. So anyway, so they said, well, how are we going to get up there?
Yeah.
We can't.
But they've only brought the short ladders.
No, we can't. Let's go home.
Yeah.
Okay, that was monkey news.
So they said, well, there's a lot of like grippage.
Because they made up words. The firemen, the NYPD firemen.
There's a lot of grippage
On the side of the building and stuff. So anyway, they said, why don't we just go and get a monkey, right? So they got a monkey.
Whoa, that's a
Is
bit
that-
of a jump.
Is
They
that
just-
policy now in the New York Fire Department?
Well, you've got to think quick, haven't you? At the end of the day, if people are up there, you don't start querying if it works or not. You try everything that you can to help someone out, right?
That's the first thing I thought of. Was it a monkey?
So it was quicker for them to go and get a monkey than to go back and get the long ladders.
Why don't they get
Fair enough.
Why don't they get Spider-Man?
Yeah, cool Spider-Man.
Yeah, cool Spider-Man.
So anyway, so they got a monkey down there, and they said, right, well,
Where'd they get it from?
We don't know, from the local zoo or something.
Oh, yeah.
So they said, look, let's, we've got to remember there could be someone up there,
Right.
and it'll shock them a bit if a monkey comes in, right?
Yeah.
So they said,
Yeah, I don't think they'd care.
Get it
If their building's on fire, they're not going to go, oh, that's weird, there's a monkey at the window. They'd be screaming, save me! Oh, there's a monkey.
so
Where are
anyway,
you from then?
so they said, right, we'll just get it a little small uniform and that, the smallest you've got.
But, whoa, hold on though. Actually, where are you going to get that? I'm going back to the station. We'll get the long ladders while you're there.
No time.
No time. No, I bought the small uniform. I just didn't bring the long
Yeah.
ladders. You're an idiot.
So anyway, it goes up there. It's got all the kit on and what. It's
Yeah.
got its little ARDA on and all that. It grabs. There was like a little person up there. Manages to grab that.
Not
give it
a
a little.
Who was up there then?
It was just
Someone that was just the right size for a monkey to be able to rescue, which is handy. Because if it had been anyone else, like a larger person or a family, we'd all been screwed.
No, I don't know about the size of it, but it's just the story saying how like it was quite a big monkey, and that it was good at breaking down doors.
Oh, yeah.
It was good at climbing into small spaces and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Anyway,
But
it managed
so
to.
it's big enough to carry a fully grown man, but small enough to climb through a cat flap.
Yeah, so
Which is handy.
So anyway, it managed to, get
Did it have
the
the boots
person.
on as well?
It got the person and everything, and now it says it's sort of it's on call if they ever need it again. So-
Sure, and if they ever get anywhere again and they've forgotten the long ladders, but there's plenty of grippage, they just call for Coco.
So that's this week's monkey news.
Bollocks. What? Don't look at me like that.
Oh, Carl, you're in a bad mood.
The Coral,
I'm all right.
dreaming of you. Right, do the last one. Carl's saying we're never doing this again because we don't appreciate it. Yeah, Carl, you don't know how good this feature is, mate.
Right, last one.
Yeah.
Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Go on then, tell me about that one. What's that? What am I going to learn from this?
Right, well, do you know the saying, pot of sock in it?
I like it already.
Do you know the saying?
Yeah.
Right, well, do you know where it comes from?
I assume it's shut up, so I'll stuff your mouth with a sock to shut you up.
Years ago.
Yeah. Sorry, am I right?
No, not really. Ages ago.
1970s?
50s,
Okay.
I'd say. Do you know the old...
I'd say.
do you know the old gramophone?
Yeah.
With the big horn on it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, well, those stereos didn't have a volume control on them. Right? So they'd be listening
Oh,
to
so you
the
put a
album,
sock in the...
and you'd
mute.
put something like a sock.
That's a real one, you see. That's taught me something. That's good. That's excellent, Carl. That is the only one that counts, like chewing the fat, if they're true. I'm assuming they are. It works. It's of interest. I haven't got it verified yet, but that is educating Ricky. That's brilliant. I will say the other two were more entertaining. So, I don't...
Do you understand the distinction, though, between that one and Electrical Man?
And, or I've hit my head, I can hear you, Mum.
Yeah. Can you see the difference, though? Or...
Not
all
really,
three...
because when I read all three, I took something away from all of them.
What did you take away from the Electrical Man?
I just thought, oh, imagine that. Imagine how annoying that would be.
But that's not education, is
And
it
it's
really?
not taking anything away.
Think about it, right? We take our lives for granted all the time, don't you? You get up in the morning, it's like, oh, I'll get up and walk for a shower. Some people can't walk, right?
Yeah.
This guy, he can't even have you know what I mean? It's nice to have a bath, isn't it, when you got time on your hands and you can relax. This guy can't even do that. He might be alright for a bit, but he's not really enjoying it, because at any moment, it could strike.
Yeah.
So, he can't even do that. He can't comb his hair, because it keeps going a mess.
Yeah.
He can't watch his
Nor can you.
No, he can't.
Does he fight crime? What does he do with his powers?
Yeah.
I think he just has to sit around, because he can't work with machinery.
Right.
Because he'll probably blow a fuse.
Yeah, so he just sits around.
Think about it, what can he do? What normal things can he do?
Skateboarding.
Going for long walks.
Yeah.
Put a wetsuit on.
Well, he couldn't do that.
Why?
Ooh, water and electric.
No, wetsuits aren't actually wet. They're dry initially.
Just put a whole wetsuit on and walk round with flippers and
A
rub the
wetsuit's
sole.
not like a dinner jacket that's like really wet.
Well, all I'm saying is think. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And what was the
And
other one
the
again?
girl's deaf for 4 years, hits her head.
Yeah. That's just.
What have you learned from that?
What is that?
Well, imagine how happy you'd be. Remember that time when I nearly died when I choked on a Mr. Freeze pop? Right,
No, tell us that one again.
No, I told you, didn't I?
Tell us again.
Yeah, but the people will remember it, and then it's.
They weren't listening. Go on. What happened?
It was ages ago when my mum and dad used to go out shopping on a Friday.
1970s?
Get the food in. get a week's load of food in the cupboard and that, and we'd, you know, they'd come in with all the food, and we'd all be like, oh god, you know, there's no food left on a Thursday really, so we'd all be hungry on the Friday by the time the food got in.
I love that.
And
That
I'd
they
be
would
like-
need it. I imagine him like jackal puppies.
Yeah.
Just like licking your parents' mouth for food as they
So-
come through the door.
So they come in from the supermarket, they're emptying the box. Our kid had got some biscuits and what have you.
Frenzy, just a feeding frenzy, like pigeons.
I grabbed the Mr. Freeze pop and knocked it back really quick, but it wasn't frozen, so I knocked it back so it was like a liquid, and it went down the wrong way, right, and I was choking, right, and I nearly died. It must have been about, how long can you go before you die?
A couple of minutes to do
Right,
it.
I reckon about a minute 50. Right, I was really close to dying.
How do you know you were close to dying? Did your life flash before you?
No, but I just was like,
There's loads of instances of him eating pops.
Yeah, exactly.
I just was dead.
40 of those.
whatever, right?
What do
anyway.
you think you'd see if your life flashed past you? What do you think, which elements would stand out for you, do you think?
What? Start now, go back. Zoom, what do you remember? What's the first thing you remember?
As a kid.
Yeah, just tell me
Right,
now.
being in a hall and having our dog licking my face.
That's your earliest memory?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the next one?
Right, next one's probably
What?
being at primary school with Lindsay.
Yeah.
Was that your girlfriend?
Well, a little friend who was a girl.
Sure.
And we used to have like tins with letters in, and you'd have to write stuff. But anyway, what were we doing?
What? He got confused.
Right, so anyway,
I'm intrigued by the dog that was licking your face.
well, bin that.
We won't win that.
no, it's a great feature. I just think you need to be a little bit more careful about what you consider to be education.
Gone
All
funny.
right,
I
all
fell
right.
over.
Alright, well,
We'll work on it next week. Play a tune, and what have you got for us? Because we've got a big competition.
We've
Come
got
on.
to do the competition. We've only
Don't-
got 25
Yeah, well, come on
minutes.
then,
Don't worry
quick
about
then.
it, Carl.
Do
Play a
something,
tune.
play
We'll
a
come back with
tune.
Rockbusters.
What we
do you wanna
playing?
play?
Let's play a bit of Tupac.
Oh, that's what I'm coming out to, isn't it? A fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Imagine it.
Whack it up. Whack a record or something.
Well,
Or...
we're on to another feature.
Oh, what is this?
This one is...
Rick, were you not at the planning meeting?
What is this? Go on.
This is, that song's got a good story in it.
Oh, is this that? Oh, God.
So tell us the rules.
Right, the rule is that it's songs that we play on the show every week, and there's a lot of music out that they just keep saying the same
Oh,
thing
just
over and over.
what is it? What's
It's
the
a
song with the
song
story this
with a
week?
good story.
What's the song with the story this week? Just say it.
It's Gene Pitney, 24 Hours from Tulsa.
Oh, I'm really sorry about this. If you're an XFM listener, we got to listen to this. Go on.
Well, do you know what it's about?
Yeah, isn't he trying to get back to his girlfriend?
Yeah, he's been working away. Lives in Tulsa. He works quite far away,
Right.
and he's
Would
coming
this
back.
save us having to listen to the song?
Well, it's always good to sort of
Hear
her what
the
it's about.
story before you hear the story.
It's like, you know,
Sure. I like this before a film. Yeah,
no,
go on, go on.
you might read the book before you see the film, type thing.
Yeah,
So
never in my case.
he's working miles away. His missus is in Tulsa. He's driving back, and he can't wait.
He's
to
only
see
about 24 hours away, and I remember.
He's about 24 hours away, and he's a little bit tired on the way home. He's thinking, oh, I don't want to look a mess for when me missus sees me. So he says, right, I'll stay at a motel, get some energy and that, you know, for when I see you, have a
Nutri-Grain
shave.
bar.
So he pulls over at a motel, and he's locking his car up, getting his suitcase out the back. There's a woman in the car park. He's like, oh, she's alright. She looks at him, he thinks...
XFM 104.9.
I don't think the suitcase in the boot is mentioned in the song. I think that's maybe a 12-inch mix or something. I've not heard that.
Well, basically, right...
Oh,
so
I don't remember...
I'll play the record, for Christ's sake! Let them listen to it!
I don't remember him saying, cool, she looks alright in the record.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. 24 Hours from Tulsa, Gene Pitney, song with a story.
You are quite upset by the lyrics of that song, aren't you?
I just think it's a bit annoying that, right, he loved this woman.
Yeah.
Everything's going fine. He's only 24 hours away from home. I don't know what sort of distance he's done. but he can't wait to get home. And all it took was some woman in the car park to sort of...
Give him the eye.
Give it an eye. And all the, like, the good times he's had with his missus go out the window. And, I don't know.
That's the dangers of falling in love with a prostitute. What I like about it, though, is the fact that he's writing this to his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like, talking about rubbing it in.
Yeah.
I was kissing her and getting off with her, we were having a wild
Didn't
time.
take as
I
long
was
as
going
Carl did
mental on
explaining it, though. Yeah.
But did you hear the very end? Because he's the loser, because he said, and he can never go home again.
Yeah.
So even though he's got this new girlfriend and that, he can't see his old mates.
He has falling in love with her.
Can't see his old mates anymore, he said! He can't see his old mates anymore!
Yeah. It's a sobering lesson.
I'll tell you a song...
Next time you stop at the Granada services, on the way back from, you know, Swansea, be careful.
There was a song that was a bit like that by Jim Reeves, probably out about the same time, a little bit before, right? It was just called, just 100 miles from Mary Ann, right? And, it was him and his horse going through the snow, and he was just
He stopped at a little chef.
No, yeah, he fancied another donkey. No, but, it's really sad. It used to make me cry when I was little, because he got there, right, and he wouldn't leave old Ben, the horse. And he dies in the snow, and then so he dies in the snow.
He's gone again, you've gone again. I get the same way, teary-eyed, with two little boys.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
Why not?
It's just...
Do you think I'd leave you dying when there's room on this horse for two? Climb up here, Jack, we'll soon be flying, back to the ranks so blue. It was just like when they were playing with the little horse's head, when they were little, and he was a soldier, and he helped him, and he returned the favour in a war, which to me is a bigger favour than just letting him have a go on a hobby horse, but, a lot braver, if you know. Yeah, last number one of the 60s as well. Christmas 1969.
And it's, of course, based on truth, that's a history lesson right there. It is based on fact. It's a famous person. I think it was
Cromwell.
Winston Churchill and Cromwell.
It's Winston Churchill and Cromwell.
Cromwell and Winston Churchill.
Yeah, they were both lived ages ago, so they lived at the same time. Literally ages ago, so they lived at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, that's it then.
Is it?
Yeah.
Were you listening to anything we were saying then, Carl? Did you understand any of that me and Steve were just chatting about then?
that Rolf Harris, did a good song about someone who's got to carry on a horse.
Right, and what was about the stuff about Cromwell and Winston? What do you think that was about?
I missed that.
We're doing humour, we're doing a little bit of humour. It was a satire on you saying age is not being specific. Do you like that stuff we do?
Yeah. That's it then.
Like just a cat looking out a window at a dead mouse or something. You can go, come here! And it's just looking at the mouse it could eat. You wanna press the buttons and finish, don't you?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, play a record or?
No, that's it, it's ads and that's it.
Okay. Great. Goodbye.
What a wonderful ending. That was the way we went out with a bang.